women are the gatekeepers of sex. Men decide relationship status. Your personality is your personal reality.
Yeah.
So if your personality is, there's no guys, nothing's working, I'm sad, I'm this, I'm that. Hey, guess what? Your life is going to suck.
Yeah, for sure.
Like your dating life, at least.
What makes a man want to commit?
Are you going for a certain pattern that's not good for you that you're attracted to?
You don't have to yell.
When a guy meets a woman he really likes, like he romanticizes about it. I think a lot of women think that guys are playing them more than they actually are. Then as a shorter guy, like, hey, I don't know what to tell you. You got to make more money. You got to make more money. You got to get jacked.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
We're going to give my girls a little dating and relationship advice. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Niko Emanuilidis, and I'm the Dean of the Daddy Academy.
What's a daddy?
Oh, good question. I think it's
You're like me.
Me, baby. You know, it's the way I sort of describe daddy energy. It's like it's a healthy masculine man. It's a man who is naturally kind of in his like protector, provider vibe, right?
Okay.
There's varying degrees of it because let's actually rewind. There's degrees of masculinity,
Right.
Right, and just because a man is like hyper macho doesn't mean that that's like healthy masculine. I think actually like the best guys have a sort of like range of both masculine and feminine energy,
Yeah.
and can tap into either depending on the scenario that they're in.
I agree.
Like for example, if I'm holding like a little baby, I'm not like, yeah, little baby. Like I'm like, you know, then you're kind of
Well, you could, but that would be scary.
It would be scary.
Yeah.
You get a little bit more into like your feminine side. So I
Yeah.
think the most healthy men have the ability to kind of like fluctuate between those ranges and can relate to women and understand women in a certain way that maybe that sort of hyper macho guy doesn't, which I'm sure every woman has dated a guy that is very much like that, which comes with some positive traits. Like, oh, he's probably like a hustler, gets his shit done, but
Can,
he's
like,
not
build
really,
stuff.
he's not really like a build stuff, but he's not really like emotionally attentive to you.
Right.
So like a daddy energy man has that range where he is emotionally in tune.
I feel like
to
you're
women.
emotionally aware.
Yeah. Well, I had a
What
young,
sign are you?
I'm a Libra.
Okay.
I have a younger sister. My mom, I'm half Greek, half Italian, close knit, super close knit family where if there was an issue, like we'd sit at the kitchen table and like talk about it for like hours.
love that.
So yeah, so
I feel those vibes.
yeah, thank you. It's a man who's has the emotional intelligence, the healthy balance of masculine and feminine energy, and who's going through life giving out like love, expansion, like positive energy.
Yeah.
Right. I think a lot of men, when they think of like, because the comparison to like daddy energy, in my opinion, would be like, okay, that alpha guy, right? There's like beta, alpha, and I say like daddy energy is like kind of in the middle, a little bit more towards the alpha side. But like, you know, I think alpha guys, or when men think of like, what's like an alpha male, right? It's like very lone wolf energy. People kind of like start to associate that with like, no, you got to be on your purpose and that becomes very selfish minded thinking. And then the way that those men, if you're looking at it on the internet and sort of like the toxic sort of culture, those men tend to then look at women very transactionally, where it's like, ooh, like women are only for sex and having a good time, and I'm not going to let myself get close. Make me a sandwich. And that type of stuff. But then you go all the way on the other side. Beta guys, those are really like the nice guys that haven't learned what it means to be like masculine, really, or just like attractive. They don't know how to cultivate attraction.
Do you think nice guys finish last?
Of course, yes. But because you don't want to be a nice guy, you want to be a kind guy.
Right, there's a difference.
You want to be a kind man with boundaries and standards and knows what he wants and knows how to.
You want to be a daddy.
Knows how to be. You want to be a daddy, exactly. So you don't want to be an alpha male. You don't want to be a beta male. You want to be a daddy.
Right.
So it's like this healthy. So it's this healthy balance of everything. But like when I describe what that feeling is, and like I'm sure if you haven't dated a daddy, you know the. You
got to experience a daddy to know a daddy.
Well, maybe your friend is dating a guy who you would say would have the daddy energy. And like you just have that vibe where he walks into a room and he brings just such like a positivity and fun energy and everyone wants to be his friend.
Yeah.
Where like, and he makes the people around him better or feel better about themselves.
And like feel safe.
Feel safe.
Yeah.
Where like an alpha guy might give you like kind of like a weird energy to be around. Like more of a, not uncomfortable, but not as welcoming.
Right.
Right. So it's like, it's very abstract. Like this is hippy dippy woo while we're talking here.
We could write a dissertation on being a daddy.
I can't. If there's anyone that could do it, it's me. Yeah. But that's sort of how I would describe it. It's like this very, you feel very comfortable around his presence. He's masculine, but not to the point where you'd be like, this is like too much.
And I can't talk about my feelings.
Talk about my feelings. You're able to have these conversations with him. He's emotionally attentive to you. And yeah, it's just like this perfect like Goldilocks, like just right in the middle. But men fluctuate. You know, there's men who do lean a little bit more masculine, men who lean a little bit more feminine. Then that's just like you know,
the polarity. Yeah.
No, but like what's the word I'm looking for? Your preference. Like how masculine do you like them? How feminine do you like them? But there needs to be a masculine feminine polarity.
Right.
So you got to realize that if you're into more of a masculine guy, then you got to be a little bit more on the feminine polarity. If the guy's a little bit more feminine, then you got to be, I mean, even more feminine, or you might lean a little bit more masculine. So it sort of just depends on the dynamic and knowing yourself and knowing how you tend to show up and what dynamics tend to work the best for you.
I want some tangible tips for how we can be more approachable out in the wild.
Okay, I love this question. I talk about this like every day of my life. Every day of my life. No, it's good. I think it's really important. I think it starts by, you know, like the phrase like, oh, you make your life like a movie. You're the main character of a movie, right? You actually have to treat your life like that. When you leave the house every day, don't put the headphones in. You go to the coffee shop, start a conversation with the barista. Like talk, like, oh, how's your day going? Oh, you look so nice today. Whatever comes to mind.
What if she's shy?
I have a little take here. I think people might lean a little bit more introverted or extroverted, but it's a trained behavior too. You could train yourself out of it. And if you don't like the fact that you're shy, it's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. You got to work on it.
No, fair. I used to be like so fucking shy, and now I can't shut up. Like I could talk to a dead person.
You have to work on it. It's like we definitely all, you know, we have what's the word? Like I don't have the words today. Predisposed personality traits. You know what I mean? Like
I get what you're saying. I also don't have the words. So I'm letting you suffer. I'm sorry.
I'm shot today. I only had one coffee. Like the things that we're born with, that we naturally, our personalities lean a certain way or another. But like, if I don't like the way my life is going, I need to kind of sit back and assess what's going on.
Right.
So if I want to be approached more, if I want to be more of a social person, it starts with me actually being more social and giving that energy out into the world, because that's how you're going to get it back. So like you go to the coffee shop, talk to the barista, headphones out, walking down the street, like feeding yourself positive emotions. Like I'm a big like Joe Dispenza guy. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, of course.
Huge Joe Dispenza guy. Your personality is your personal reality. So if your personality is there's no guys, nothing's working, I'm sad, I'm this, I'm that. Hey, guess what? Your life is going to suck.
Yeah, for sure.
Like your dating life at least is going to suck. So you have to like change that way of thinking and change that way of behaving. So when you go out, it just really just starts with you building that. I like to say like get your social snowball rolling. So you get it rolling by you talk to the barista, then you go to the gym, you talk to the person behind the desk, you talk to somebody like working out next to you, talk to that person. Just get out of your shell, talking to people platonically. Because the way that men work, like if I'm going to approach someone, like, I mean, maybe I have the confidence to go up to someone randomly, but
because you're a daddy.
Because I'm daddy. Right. But like a lot of guys,
I feel like your head is going to be so big when you leave this room.
No, it's a shtick. But a lot of guys, what they'll do is like, okay, like say we're at the gym, right? And I wanted to approach you, but like I'm maybe a little bit more on the timid side. Like I'm not sure if I want to. If I see you talking to like the woman next to you and you're laughing and you're smiling, now I have context as to how she behaves when she's approached or when she's talking to somebody. Where if you're just walking around with a resting bitch face all the time,
you're scared.
It's like they'll be less likely to do it because of the fact that men now have dating apps. They have Instagram. They
don't have to do it that way anymore.
They don't have to do it.
Yeah.
It would behoove them to do it because women want it.
Right.
But they've been basically what they say in their mind in that split second is like the risk reward. Right. Because there has always been the risk reward of approaching somebody in person. It's just back in the day, there was no phones. Or if you even want to go like thousands of years ago, it's okay. If I talk to the alpha male's girl, he's going to hit me in the head with a rock. Right. So like, that's like essentially like why we're so anti approaching people, because there was an actual life-threatening risk if I did that. So, and that works for men and women. It's like, that's why approach anxiety goes both ways.
Right.
So in today's day and age, I mean, our social skills are going down the toilet because tons of things that can go on. Like we talked like hours and hours about that, but the phone's obviously a big reason.
Yeah.
If I'm a guy who's not really used to doing that, but maybe I see a woman I'm really interested in, I'm going to like clock her for a minute and just see what her vibe is. See if she looks like someone who's in a
Approachable.
good mood,
Yeah.
approachable. What does she look like when she's spoken to by somebody? Like I like, for example, at the register at the coffee shop, if I'm behind you and you're just like, can I get a mocha latte?
Yeah.
Or if you're like, hey, how are you? Oh, you look so good today. Can I get a mocha latte? Then it's like, okay, if I'm feeling good and I'm feeling up to doing it, maybe I interject. Maybe I like say something to you as you turn around. So it's creating that social snowball rolling that, you know, like energies attract like energies too. So if you're buzzing at that high frequency of just like optimism, fun, loving my life, loving my day, spreading positivity, you're going to attract more people who are in that same frequency as you. So when you're not doing that, the people you're attracting are other low level people, which, hey, guess what? Those people don't talk to each other.
Right.
Only high energy, fun, optimistic people are the ones that are approaching other people. So it's like you kind of got to be the person that you want to approach you. Approach it platonically. Like, don't even think, oh my God, this guy's so, I mean, you're going to be like, he's cute, but you almost have to just say to yourself, friend, this is just a friend.
Right.
This is just a friend. This is just a friend.
Like the same way you would talk to any other person.
Anybody.
It's harder when you're attracted to the person because I'm
Right.
like,
well, like
go nonverbal at that point.
Well, that's the issue.
Yeah.
Just to go in the nonverbal part.
Yeah.
But it's talk platonically, talk as if you're talking to your best friend, but just give the flirty eyes and a smile.
Right.
Like that, like show the flirting with the eyes and the smile. Don't worry about like, oh, I got to say something crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's up to the guy to kind of facilitate that.
Practice like when you're out to dinner, practice with the waiter.
Flirt
like,
with the waiter.
Try flirting
Flirt
with
with
him.
the
Like
waiter,
I
1000%.
I flirt with like a parent. Like I'll flirt with parents. Like I flirt with everybody.
Yes.
Just
it's a way
practice.
of being.
Yeah. Just try like with anyone who you're not going to do anything romantic with, just try flirting with them.
Yes.
I feel like it's like a muscle.
It is a muscle. It is a muscle.
Yeah.
Flirting with the waiter is a really good tip.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Start being that social person.
Right. Yep.
So it's like, that's an opportunity to talk to somebody, spread some fun, some vibes. Like the guy's not gonna be like, oh my God, this woman's hitting on me. But like, it's still, it's playful.
Let's move into the early stages of dating.
Cool.
Where I feel like so many women, myself included, we like, as soon as we like somebody, we go into like psychosis.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but guys do that too though.
Okay, that's my first question.
Yeah.
So I want you to talk to me about things that happen in the early stages of dating that we don't realize are going through men's mind.
Yeah, I think, okay, not including men who are just like, I am casual guy, you'll never change my mind. Like there's
We're not talking to fuckboys.
We're not talking to like strictly fuckboys who
Right.
have no intention whatsoever. We're talking
Right.
about people who are at least open, like, hey, I would like to meet somebody,
Yes.
potentially if it's the right person. Like when a guy meets a woman he really likes, like he romanticizes about it. He thinks about it. Like he'll be thinking about you. Like
Do you go to sleep thinking about
Yeah,
it?
like you
creating
do.
the scenarios?
1,000%.
Really?
1,000%. If you're a true lover boy, you think of those things. It's, yeah, I think it's men and women have those same feelings.
Yeah.
It's just a different dance.
For sure.
That's really the only difference. Like a lot of like people online think that like men are like these like heartless like pigs, and I'm like maybe some of them are, but like generally speaking, pigs. But like this, generally speaking, like most men, you know, when they meet somebody who they really like, that's exciting, right? And I don't think people think that it's like a bad thing that, oh, I got really excited. It's not bad that you get really excited. It's not bad that you met somebody you have a great connection with. Obviously, it's great. But part of the dating game is that you have to understand that most of the things don't work out. Yeah. So
it only takes one, unless you're looking for something else, which is fair,
right. Le ménage à trois.
Yeah.
If you're just looking
no
for,
shame.
No shame. No shame. If you're looking for just one person, most of them aren't going to work out.
Right. Yeah.
So you have to kind of like accept the fact. You have to accept that fact. And then you realize you have to say to yourself, if you want to bring yourself back down to earth, it's like, okay, I don't know this person yet. I've only went on one date, went on 2 dates. It's like, I got to see this person over an extended period of time. At least 2 to 3 months, to have like an idea if this could even like be something serious.
What do you wish women knew about men in the beginning?
I think, okay, men kind of, okay, so there's love bombing, which is like way too far, right? A guy who's like blowing you up, wanting to see you every single day, like that's too far, right? But there is a sense of, I think a lot of women think that guys are playing them more than they actually are, where a guy sometimes at a certain point needs to try to see what it would feel like to have you as a girlfriend. Right. So it's like, if we're just like casually talking, and as we develop, it's like, for me to see how I feel, I kind of need to throw myself into it a little bit more.
Yeah. You have to play the part.
You have to play the part to see if it would work.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when it doesn't work at that, like, maybe 3 months it doesn't work.
They're like, oh, he loved bombed me.
He left me on, which could be the case.
I think some of these words though, and especially with like TikTok University, which I love.
TikTok University.
I do love it. I really do love it. But some of these words, we throw them around like they are nothing and like they don't mean anything.
And what it does also is, and listen, I talk about this all the time too. So it's like, I try not to be part of that problem.
I feel like you're careful with the words
the words I use, and I really try to explain it out, because if we're blaming men all the time for these things, guess what they're going to do? They're not going to do anything.
Right.
And they're just going to keep things super, super casual, because like, well, every time I try to date somebody and it doesn't work out, I'm being called a big love bomber and an asshole, and then, oh, I fucked her over and this and that. So it's like, we got to just be a little careful about that, because not a lot of guys have the emotional nuance of how to move. Like, not every guy, nobody's perfect.
Right.
Men aren't perfect.
Except us.
Yeah, except we're perfect. No, but I'm not even perfect. Like, nobody's perfect. Yeah. So there's going to be someone who gets upset. There's going to be someone who doesn't do the right thing or say the right thing, or someone who could have been a little bit more transparent earlier on than others. I would just say, try to be as transparent and morally correct as you could possibly be. Or like, just be tapped into yourself and try to use your own moral compass to move the right way. Nobody's perfect though. But I think, a lot of guys, they want to see what it feels like with you.
Yeah.
And if they're doing that and then they pull away or it doesn't work out, they assume, oh, he just led me on to have sex with me. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's totally true. It depends on the guy. If the guy needs sex that bad, I don't know. I think you're kind of a loser if that's the case.
Yeah.
But like, I think that's what I would say. Not as many guys are like purposely trying to lead you on as you might think. Time goes by and they kind of realize that, fuck, I don't think this is right for me. But here's like the reason why that's kind of a tricky subject is the way it's talked about. And I think there's a lot of truth to it. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. Mm-hmm. So you decide when sex happens, really. Like, if a guy's doing that, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
And men decide relationship status.
For sure.
So if that's the case, then how do you play the game? I mean, I don't think we're not talking about playing games, but just understanding.
There is a little game.
There is a little game.
Yeah.
But it's just understanding these nuances. As a woman, if you know that's the case, then how do you play that? If you're feeling really good and you want to have sex on the first date, go for it. But then it just,
yeah,
there's no
you have to be okay with what happens after.
You have to be okay with what happens after.
Yeah.
Knowing yourself, like I said earlier, you got to know yourself, and knowing that sort of general rule and like how you're feeling the dynamic with the person, you make that decision. But ultimately, the man's going to be the one that gets down on one knee and proposes to you. Yeah. So men decide the relationship at the end of the day. I mean, someone will be like, no, well, I choose the relationship. Yeah, okay, I get it. But you know what I mean? Like let's not play Captain Literal, man. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So that's kind of why men always they're the ones that get blamed when things don't work out, because at the end of the day, it's like they kind of decide it. And it sucks. I mean, it's just part of the thing.
It's just part of it.
You just got to understand this. And
it's how
the more
you
understand it, it'll help you navigate it better.
And what do you think as women we are doing wrong in the early stages of dating? Or what do you hear the most or get the most commentary on?
I think the best advice I can give women sometimes, like, I say the 1 date per week thing as far as like pacing out and kind of getting to know somebody. But I think a lot of women try to play games. But the problem is, if you try to play games with let's say like a healthy masculine guy, a guy who's likes you and is trying to feel something out.
Be like, fuck this.
Well, because your energy is going to be incongruent. It's going to be like, I feel like I know her, but like I don't. And there's something up, right? Or like the texting, it's like she's not really being herself. Like I feel like I'm talking to like a robot. Yeah. Like, so I would say sometimes you want to like take the rule book and rip it up and just text him like you would text your best friend. Send him the funny meme, be yourself, send him a few double texts back and forth. There's no reason to not do that, especially if you're like, if you know who you are, you know what you like, you could tell you like this guy, you could tell that there's a connection. Sometimes I would just say, throw the rule book out. Don't over communicate where it then's like, okay, you're building this like insane connection really fast. Yeah. But don't be afraid to like really be yourself, because being polarizing is how you make actual connections, right? True, authentic connections. If you're playing a watered down version of yourself, you're not actually going to attract in the right types of people.
I was just talking to one of my friends about this, and I was telling her how something I'm working on now in dating is I find myself, or in like the last guy I dated, I like intellectualize everything too much.
How so?
Because I talk about this so much and I read about this, I listen to podcasts about this. I'm always reading 5 books at the same time about psychology or anything like this. Like, it's just so fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And like always like hearing about this stuff. Yeah. So then when I'm dating,
you have like an extra layer of knowledge that's
so
a little
fucking much. When I'm dating, I'm like, sometimes I feel like I'm so
overanalyzing.
Like I'll start overanalyzing everything too much and intellectualizing it too much to the point where I'm like, I'm not even thinking about how I feel. Cause yes, you could do it all right. 1 date a week, you could do the whole thing.
Right. Have you met a guy recently that makes you feel where you don't have to think?
But still, I mean, I'm still trying to like not think.
Not think of like what's the next.
It's
like,
just
where
hard,
is this
right?
going? What
it's
is this
hard because we're always like, well, yeah, so he did that right, and then so I'm gonna do that. It's difficult to take out the rule book, so to speak, and just kind of let yourself feel.
Well, that's a control mechanism.
Yeah.
You're trying to, how do I make sure I don't get hurt? How do I see this one step ahead so I don't get hurt?
Yeah.
It's like you have to assume, hey, I'm probably going to get hurt. You actually just have to be like, hey, you know what? I'm probably going to get hurt and I'm probably going to cry. If that's the worst thing that could happen, then I might as well just fucking see this for what it is and just see what happens.
Yeah.
You have to be okay with this maybe making me cry one day.
Right. And I'll be fine if that does happen.
If you've ever broken up with somebody, like a long-term relationship, breaking up with somebody who you dated for like 3-4 months is like not a big deal.
Right. You should date multiple people at the beginning. Like keep a little bit of, not a roster, but keep your options open. What do you think?
Know yourself, know what would feel like too much. And when you start to feel, you'll have that little voice in the back of your head where it's like, if I go on a date with the new person, say you're seeing one person, right? You go on like 3-4 dates with this one person, and then somebody else asks you out. You go on the date with that person, then you go on like a 4th date with the other one, and then a 2nd date. Once you start to have that feeling of like, it kind of feels like I'm cheating.
Yeah. Like it feels wrong to do this.
It kind of feels wrong.
Yeah.
And like you'll know, you have to have a good level of self-awareness to know like how far along am I with this guy?
Right.
Have I slept with him? That makes a big difference too.
It's also so hard to find like 3 people that you
actually like
so much.
Well, so that's kind of part of the problem is I think a lot of times there's one person you really like,
obviously,
and then you have like 2, and the guys who are just like, like those are the ones that are just like.
There's always a front runner.
There's always a front. I feel like there's always a major front runner.
Yeah.
And then 2 guys who are kind of like helping you kill the time, so you don't go crazy over the one guy. I would low key say the worst is if you somehow manage to have 2 people you're very interested in, because then you're in a real pickle because you can't really juggle that.
Yeah,
you got to cut one of those off sooner. Though that's hard. That's really hard. When you start to feel like this is starting to feel wrong, then I would stop, because usually that would mean there's a level of closeness and connection that I have with this one person that I want to see through. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's person to person. You have to know, can I handle dating a few people at one time? What line maybe wouldn't I cross? Like maybe I'm sleeping with the one guy and you know to yourself, like if I sleep with multiple guys, like I'm going to feel gross. Like I'm not going to like that. Yeah. Then go on dates with these other people and just like keep that for what it is. Like if they want to ask you on 2 dates, you want to go on 2 dates, fine. But just be like, I'm not sleeping with this guy. Like I will not be sleeping with multiple guys at the same time. If you want to do that, you can do that. It's up to you. It's like whatever. It's actually whatever like morally feels right to you. There's no like rule, but you have to assess yourself. And if going too far with multiple people starts to make you feel like stressed and you're kind of losing that like center balance, because honestly, like as a woman, having a lot of like different masculine energies in your life can be kind of like overwhelming as fuck. For guys, it's like a little different where you're the masculine energy and like you have the softer energies around you. Like, maybe that one's a little sweeter. Yeah, she's a little spunkier. Where guys, you have like just a bunch of dudes. Yeah, it's gonna feel overwhelming to you.
Yes.
But I would say I would give the same advice to men too. It's like when it starts to feel like it's starting to feel wrong, that's when you should like reassess what you're doing.
Like if you liked her that much, you would be dating other people.
No, I think it depends how far along we're talking. I think there should always be like one A/B test where it's like maybe you've gone on 4 or 5 dates with somebody. Go on one more first date and just like, how do I feel? And if you're on that date and you're thinking about the guy, the number one guy all the time, okay,
that's your sign.
That's your sign.
Yeah.
If you like the other guy too, then it's like, okay, you could like 2 people. Like I like this about this guy. I like this about this guy. But then you start to look at the compatibility. You look at all those different little things. Like, okay, maybe guy number 2 is hot, but I'm not really connecting with him compatibility wise for what we want for the future, where guy A, maybe like a little less attractive, but his energy is really attractive. We have the same vision for the future. He seems to be really attentive to me. Okay, he's still number one. I could admire that I like this other guy too. He seems to be cool, but ultimately you have to make a decision if you're looking for something serious that feels more long term for you. But you have to figure out what is your checklist. Like, what's most important? Is physical attraction the most important thing to you? Could be. Is it compatibility as far as like how we're looking at building a life together? That should be very important. Is it that conversational chemistry? Is it like we could sit and just talk for hours and hours? I feel super comfortable. Do I feel comfortable holding this person?
Yeah.
Right? Because there's like little intangible things like
For
that
sure.
that we can't really even put into words, where it's just like with guy number one, I feel so safe and like guy number one and our bodies just like fit together, right? Like when we're together, we're just like whole. And then guy number two, it's like, oh, maybe there's like a little something.
We always know though.
But that's like a gut feeling.
Yeah,
but then you have to assess too, are you going for a certain pattern that's not good for you that you're attracted to?
You don't have to yell.
So, I'm sorry.
You don't have to yell.
So it's like this overarching, you kind of got to be juggling all these thoughts at once, and you got to be talking it out with people.
Yeah.
You got to have your close friends, let your close friends meet this guy. I think your friends can meet a guy fairly soon, within 5 dates. You could be like, hey man, my friend's around the corner. Do you want to meet her? Fuck it. Like, just get the people who know you the best and that you trust. Get little gut checks with guys that you're seeing.
Nor can I find 3 men that I like enough to prioritize
time
over like
with.
My friends or myself.
Or just like watching TV
You know what I mean?
and just like eating Chinese food.
I don't know how I used to do it, honestly.
Nah, I feel like once you hit your 30s, you kind of have a different perspective of
Yeah, I'm tired.
your time and like who you want to spend your time with, or like you just kind of know. I think we know sooner, because like maybe in your 20s you're kind of just like, oh, fucking around. Your marriage isn't even on the radar for you when you're like 25. But like, you're 30, 31, 32, it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'm thinking about this like a little bit differently now.
For sure.
I've had some past relationships that didn't work. I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and you can kind of make better decisions.
How a man feels about you immediately upon meeting you.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what box she's going in.
100%.
I think
think
as soon as you meet.
I'm pretty sure as soon as you meet.
I would you meet a girl.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on in your mind.
Well, it's giving me. Well,
What are the options? What are the buckets?
I think the buckets are like absolute girlfriend zone.
Okay.
Gonna see this through. Obviously, you got to see if there's a connection and a chemistry.
But like initially,
it's like, okay, this is a girlfriend zone, or like hookup.
Don't be shy.
No, or just like a hookup zone.
Okay.
But there are times where you might view somebody as a hookup zone depending on what their like social media portrays. Like, some women.
Yep.
Where you're in Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, some women like portray themselves to be like, they're a little more bikini pictures, stuff like that. So you might, a guy, because men are visual, so first impressions are everything.
Yep.
So, I mean, I would say to women all the time, it's like, your social media profiles, like that's what a guy's going to think about you from the jump. So you decide what that looks like for you. Think about it. And you could do it for you. Oh, now my social media is for me. It's like, okay, well, great. Well,
I love you. You already know the disclaimer.
I already know the disclaimer. So it's like, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
But that being the case, okay, your social media might look one way. And this happened to me before. And then you meet them in person and
They're
you're like,
totally different.
And you're like, who is this like sweetheart? Your social media is not at all what your personality is like. Then it can immediately switch where it's like, oh, wow. So she's like this beautiful supermodel looking girl who seemed maybe online to be maybe a little bit more promiscuous, but seems really down to earth and chill and sweet. And then immediately it could switch into I'm looking at her a little bit more girlfriend like. So it's like preconceived notion of just seeing them on social media, kind of figuring it out, the chats before. And then within the first 15, 20 minutes, like you kind of have an idea of like, okay, more of a girlfriend zone or more of a hookup zone. You can float in the middle for like a little bit. Some people float in the middle for like a little bit because it's like, okay, maybe I went into this thinking it could be more hookup, but then I heard a lot of, how she thinks about things and her morals, like, oh, okay. But then you start talking the compatibility. It's like, okay, I live here. She wants to live in Texas. Okay, well then maybe, yeah. So then maybe this go back to hookup. But guys know very quickly how they want to prioritize you. Where it goes, I mean, that takes time to see, but they have a pretty good idea off the bat of like what they're thinking.
The person who cares less has more power.
Mm-hmm. It's true. But I don't think I
hate the dynamic though, like the power dynamic.
A better way to think about it is this, because the person who cares the least has the more power. I would phrase it more like the person who is would be the most comfortable with walking away has the most power. But maybe there's another way to end that sentence. Saying power, but it's like, if I know like, hey, I really like you a lot, I know that I can find someone, not you, but basically someone just as good.
That's kind of rude to say.
It is, you're not going to say it. Well, you're not going to say it. But like, I don't want to. Right. I don't want to walk away from this.
Yeah, but I'll be fine.
But I know that I'm going to find
like
somebody.
It's this or it's something better.
Right.
With anything in life.
With anything in life, the more you could like actually tangibly feel that, the more comfortable you'll sit in dating dynamics where you are dating somebody who is on your level, or like quote unquote like, oh, this guy's like a high value, I'm shooting up, so to speak. You know what I mean? Those types of guys that everyone wants.
Yeah.
So it's like, if the more comfortable you feel in that dynamic as an equal there, well, one, it's going to make you more attractive because your energy is just going to be, the way you're carrying yourself is just going to be more attractive. And yeah, he's not going to feel that, oh, like she needs this to work out with me, you know?
Right.
So which then makes you more attractive, because if I'm a guy who I could date basically any woman, and then I get this little extra level of confidence from this one, but it's not in a, I could walk away anytime I want, bitch. It's more of like, it's more of like it's just like a groundedness.
Yeah.
It's not like this, like, it's not like for show. If you start trying to do it for show, a guy's going to clock it.
It's palpable.
A guy's going to clock that. Especially a guy who's good with women. He's like, I
know what she's doing.
I know what she's doing. She's trying to play like, oh, I'm the prize here. It's like, I say men are the winners, women are the prize. So like if I'm a cool dude, I built my business, I'm a high value man. It's like, I'm the winner, so I get the prize, right? Men aren't but you know, everybody wants a winner,
right?
So it's like we're both. So it's like we're both the same. It's but you want two equals, obviously. So it's just a way of thinking about it.
Yeah. Speaking of like high value men, you know how they say, one of my very good guy friends, he and I speak about how he would love a relationship, but he doesn't feel there's certain areas of his life that he wants to kind of get situated before that.
Sure.
And so I talk to him now and I'm like, okay, but let's say you're out, you meet a beautiful girl, you guys get along. Are you going to sabotage it? Are you going to see it through? Are you going to try? And he's like, I'll probably fuck it up.
Yeah, it depends on the guy, depends where he is in his life, depends what he's doing, what his job is, what the passion is. Because actually, I think I made a video about this today. We're all like humans, we want connection. Yeah. Right. So just because a guy is not where he wants to be doesn't mean he's going to always say to himself, I'm going to go monk mode. I'm not going to talk to women for a full year and I'm going to do my job. Like, no one does that. We still all crave connection. So these guys who might not be where they want to be, they're still out dating. It's just a matter as like for you as a woman, like being able to clock that as soon as possible. And you decide,
do I want that?
Do I want that? And I always say, you don't need the horse that wins the Kentucky Derby. You just need a horse that's in the race, not a horse that's like training for the race. You need a horse that's like, okay, let's just say 75% of the way there, where he's making money, like he's doing well, but you could see that, okay, 6 months to a year from now, this guy might, and this isn't potential. There's a track record, hearing him talk about his life, where he's at, what he's accomplished, and just seeing it. Like,
you feel it.
You can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it. But some women take on the project, which is
Bob
like
the Builders.
That's like Bob the Builder. That's like you're taking a guy when he's like nowhere near, or when he has like this idea, like, oh, like
what's the potential, right?
I got this big idea. Yeah, I'm trying to find investors for it. It's like, okay, that guy has nothing going on. Like there's nothing going on. What he has is a tangible something, and you're seeing that, okay, well, in 6 months, this guy might be a fucking rock star. That's not taking on potential. There's something tangible there. So when you meet a guy, you kind of got to like ask the right questions to kind of figure out where he's at. But a lot of guys, I mean, there's something extremely true to men need to feel a certain way about themselves to feel worthy
fully
of being in a relationship and being able to provide. Because I think generally speaking, most guys want to be providers.
Well, physiologically also, it's like you guys were made in a way to feel like you are providing something. So if you can't provide, it depends on the man, right? But I feel like there's got to be a few things that he feels like he can provide. And if not, then at some point, I think.
There's different levels to it too, where it's okay, let's just use like round numbers for example, right? Let's say you make 100K, he makes 100K, right? We're using round numbers, right? Maybe you'd want a guy who makes more than that. Maybe that would have been important to you, but he makes the same amount as you, but he is Mr. Emotional Intelligence. He makes you feel so special. He does all the little things. He goes out of his way. He's a hard worker. Maybe he's like a teacher. Like he loves what he does and it's so attractive with what he does.
Yeah.
That's a quality man.
For sure.
Right? But some women might go, well, I don't want a guy that makes the same amount of money as me. But like, you got to look at the full picture.
Yep.
Then there's an option where, what if it's a guy who makes 500K a year, right? But you never see him. He's always busy. He has no emotional intelligence. But you could do it. You have the money to do whatever you want every day. Does that work for you?
Well, you have to decide that, right?
You have to decide that.
You want a hardworking man until he's hardworking and has no time for you, maybe. But you wanted a hardworking man,
right? So there's a happy medium to everything, and you can find the unicorn, but everybody wants the unicorn.
Everybody wants the unicorn.
So what are you doing that makes the unicorn want you too?
Yeah.
So, but that's like it's a little bit of luck, a little bit of this. There's a lot that kind of goes into it, and it's being really precise. You only know what you're looking for if you really think about it and you make it like very tangible in your mind of the type of man that you want. So a lot of people are like, I want the best guy. It's like, okay, well, what does that actually look like?
Yeah, what does that mean?
How much money does he make roughly? How does he make you feel? Like, what's the attraction like? Because these are things on varying degrees that you just have to figure out what's the most important for you.
Do you think we get deal breakers and preferences fucked up?
That's a very good question.
You know how women are like, everybody wants a guy who's 6'5" or whatever. Right. But it's like, okay, is that a deal breaker?
Yeah.
Like, are you not going to, if he's 6'2", are you not going to talk to him?
I have had multiple women tell me, because I'm 6'3", by the way.
You don't have to brag. You don't have to brag.
I'm 6'3". I've had multiple women tell me I can't date a guy who's short. There she is.
I don't like short.
How tall is what's your...
Well, I also feel like I'm tall.
How tall are you?
5'8", but with heels, I'm like...
No, that's like a taller woman.
So
sure.
I love to just feel... I want to feel small.
I mean, that's masculine, feminine polarity. And that's it sucks. Like, I really feel for my short kings out there.
I know that, like, I'm not... There's many men who are going to be like, I don't like this about her. Like,
sure.
It's fair. It's
it goes
a
the other way. It
preference.
goes the other way around.
Like...
Then as a shorter guy, like, hey, I don't know what to tell you. You got to make more money. You got to make more money. You got to get jacked. Like, get jacked, make more money, and be really fucking cool. Well, here's the problem. I think too many women will fuck loser tall guys just because they're tall and have like a good face. Like, don't just do that. Don't let them just get whatever they want.
Just because of their height. Height gets you in the door, but like...
Height will get you in the door, but like, yeah, you gotta be a little bit more selective.
Rough world.
Just because they're tall, like, it's really not that great. Preferences and deal breakers, yeah. You gotta be precise about like what that means to you. What is an actual deal breaker versus just like, okay, I like a guy who's like 6'3", but I can do 5'11" if he's really cool.
I also say this because I don't like dating apps. I've used them in the past, but I don't like them. A few of the men that I've had like really great times with who have been great men, I've met them out in the wild.
Okay.
And I don't know that if I would have seen them on a dating app, I would have probably X'd them.
100%.
And they probably maybe they would have X'd me too.
Yep.
But like in the right lighting, with the Riz and like whatever.
That's why men should be approaching women in person more. Because the dating apps for guys who are under 5'10", it's like not great. Like it's not going to be good for you. If you're under 5'10" and you're a guy, like, start approaching women in real life.
What are women struggling with the most in dating right now? What are they coming to you for advice for the most right now?
It's a good question. I really get so many different scenarios. It's now a lot of them are recently. I've had a few people like navigating. We've been together for 6 months and now he's pulling away. Like, what does that kind of mean? So what do you say? It's nuanced. That's the thing. Is like it really comes down to it. But like, there's such a feeling when a guy, and this is probably the best advice I can give, is just like, there's such a feeling when a guy is like really into you and is totally all about you. He's going to verbalize it. You're going to feel it. It's going to be an upward positive trajectory. There's never going to be a pullback. It's going to be this like really secure feeling thing. And if you're feeling less than that, something's up. There should never be a pullback. It should always be an upward positive trajectory to the dynamic. I
feel like if you're confused, that's all I need to know.
If you're confused, that's all. Yeah. Like, it's really that simple.
What makes a man want to commit?
What makes a man want to commit? I think it's a combination of, okay, there's an attraction, obviously. And this is also, I don't know how often I've talked about this. when a man feels like this is one layer to this.
Like he's lucky.
Yes. If this is the hottest woman I could possibly find. Like that, if he feels that way about you, he's gonna fucking worship you.
Yeah.
That's one part of it though. Because like you could have a really hot woman, but there's nothing else there. And it's just like, okay, what am I gonna do with this?
Yeah.
So what am I gonna do with this? So that's one part of it though. Like if he feels like, hey, I've never been with a 10 before and this is my first 10, he's already going to be prioritizing you tremendously. So you want a guy that is verbalizing to you how gorgeous you are. Oh my God, you're beautiful. Like you're hearing those things a lot. So that's one part. The other part is like, is there an emotional connection, right? Are you the conversational chemistry? Chemistry can't be faked.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like we either have it or we don't have it. So a level of that only gets deeper as you keep hanging out and talking and learning more things. So that's like 2/3 of it that is very like surface level, very like easy to figure out. The last piece though is the compatibility checklist. If a guy is like really looking for a serious relationship, potentially marriage, it's like, do we have the same family values? Did we grow up the same? Do we think about these things the same? Can I picture this woman being the mom of my kids?
Right.
Like it's like those like really weird little
it's
things.
true.
But
because we're thinking the same thing.
Right. Exactly. But guys do think that.
Yeah.
They might not know. Some guys might not know that they're thinking about it like that.
Yeah.
But they are. It's like a man's intuition. Or women, you guys have an intuition about things? Like a man's intuition is like, could just be the mom of my kids.
So what do you say when, I'm sure you hear this all the time, when women are like, guys have we both have so many options now. There's you talk about this all the time, that we live in a dopamine nation. Like you find a beautiful girl, well, you can find an even prettier girl.
There's millions of them.
Why would I settle when I can find maybe better tomorrow or whatever? And I know I know it's a mindset. The guy's either going to have that mindset or he isn't.
Yeah.
But what do you say to women who might feel frustrated with that?
I think it still comes down to vetting early on. I think a lot of people take the first 2-3 dates as like, we're just having fun. We're just vibing. We're just vibing. Like, no, ask the tougher questions.
Yeah.
And so I know some dating coaches don't say this, but like ask some tougher compatibility questions early on because there's no context between the two of you. Like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Like, where are you? It's kind of how's your career going? Like, could you see yourself?
Yeah.
Could you see yourself being in a relationship? Like, asking those types of questions, and obviously massage it and say it the way that feels appropriate to a conversation, not like an interview.
Yeah.
So it's coming within the flow of conversation. But any of those questions that you want the answer to, ask it early on because there's no context between the relationship between the two of you. Where
when a man gives you the answer, believe the answer. That's the answer. He's not like that's the answer.
If I'm going to sugarcoat an answer to you,
you want to make it sound either.
Well, if I was going to do that, that would mean that maybe I already thought, like there's a world where a guy says to himself, hey, yeah, I'm casual right now. I'm working on my this and that. And then he meets some like amazing woman and he's like, well, I don't know. Like that happens. That definitely happens. You could reform a fuckboy minded guy. The right person can, but it's like,
somebody's fuckboy is somebody else's husband.
Right. It happens. It happens all the time. So it's asking those tougher questions to paint the picture of who this guy actually is and what he's looking for. Because similarly, what I said about women, like a man needs to know what the wife looks like in his mind. And when a guy has a really clear vision of that and starts to break the pattern of ways of thinking. I also think a guy who's really into, these are some little things to listen to, a guy who's into like personal growth, really into personal growth, reading books, like Joe Dispenza, for example, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
A guy who's, and there's levels to this, depends on what your preferences are, but I think a guy who's in spirituality, God, like I'm Catholic, like that's something that I've been kind of leaning into a lot more lately.
Yeah.
Someone who uses God as a moral compass tends to have better morals and kind of moves a little bit differently.
For sure.
Rather than being like party scene guy. Like, is he in the party scene or is he a little bit more like we go in moderation? Of course, everyone's going to go out. Like, I love having a good time, but like in moderation. So it's like listening to those things, you can get a good sense of like, okay, is this like a quality guy that I could invest my time into? And if it works out, or we don't know if it's going to work out. You never know if it's going to work out.
You never know.
But this is a quality person who I want to see. But you have to like get a vibe for those types of things as early as possible so you know if it's worth your time.
So this segment is called What Would Daddy Say? What would you say to a woman feeling defeated in dating?
I would say, where does that get you? Okay?
Okay.
I'm going to go on a rant. Feeling defeated. Who does that hurt? Only you. Switch the mindset, reframe. What can I learn from this? Right? Don't be a victim mindset. Don't have the victim mindset. What can I learn from this? How can I grow? How can I move forward?
What would you say to a woman who keeps attracting emotionally unavailable men?
Learn the pattern. Dissect the pattern of these types of guys. What do they have in common? Break the pattern.
Maybe go to therapy.
But therapy is okay. I learned about what this is.
Yeah,
now
but
what?
then apply it.
Now what? You got to take the different action. Choose a different person.
What would you say to a woman who feels like she always cares more?
If you know that about yourself, sit back and allow the person to show you, because you know the type of person you are. You know what you bring to the table, so to speak. Sit back and allow the person to meet you a little bit further than halfway.
What do you say to a woman who feels like she's too much?
You won't be for the right person.
What would you say to a woman who thinks it's too good to be true? Maybe her situation, her whatever.
Yeah. Don't assume things are going to go wrong.
What would you say to a woman who feels unworthy of the love she wants?
What we feel we're worthy of is what we get. So you have to dissect where those feelings come from and change it. Like change your personality, your personal reality. Change that personality trait.
What would you say to a woman who just got her heart broken? She's right there. So you can
cry it out. Like, don't be afraid of the cry. Literally cry whenever the cry comes. Cry, because you're only one cry away from the last cry.
The last thing I want to say is I love your content.
Thanks.
Truly. Yeah. And I love that there are guys like you giving the advice that you give.
Oh, thank you.
And I hope you don't stop. So the only rule for this question is you can't be humble when you answer it. Okay. If your younger self could see you today, what would make him the proudest?
That I'm more or less exactly where I thought I would be. Wow. I always had a vision for myself. From when I was 5 years old. I mean, and I'm not quite this, but you said, don't be humble.
You like, I'm going to start a podcast?
I said, I'm going to be famous.
Really?
I said, I'm going to be on a stage. I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be doing this. Like, I always knew.
Were you a theater kid?
No, musician.
Okay.
Musician, played sports, class clown in high school, like social, like that kind of person. Yeah. But I always knew I wasn't meant for a desk job. There was nothing that ever resonated with me. I'm always like, I'm going to be on TV, famous, something. Like, it's going to be something. And I didn't know it would look like the Daddy Academy. But like, I knew that I was meant to have an audience of people that I was talking to, entertaining, helping.
I think some people are born to be storytellers.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with that. So yeah, I think I would be like, wow, I did it.
I love that.
Or almost doing it. I'm almost there, but I'm doing it.
You're doing it.
You're
doing it. And you're doing a great job.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming on and talking.
This is a lot of fun.
Thanks, Daddy.
Anytime.
Yeah?
Are we still?
Oh, we're still recording.
Okay.
Opening the car door.
Bare minimum.
Buying random flowers.
Random flowers.
Yeah.
This is okay. It's by princess treatment, meaning like I'm treating her like a princess. Like I'm going a little above and beyond.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say that probably leans more towards princess treatment.
I agree.
Like I'm showing her a little extra.
Remembering her coffee order.
It's kind of bare minimum.
Okay.
I'm a big coffee guy, so it's like
okay.
I should remember that.
Letting her eat the last bite of your food.
That's princess treatment. I mean, as a guy, I mean, like I clear the plates. If I let her eat the last bite,
that's
princess
lot?
treatment. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Paying for the first date. I know what you're gonna say.
Bare minimum.
Yeah. Okay.
That's even lower than bare minimum.
Yeah. Okay. Paying for her nails.
That's princess treatment.
Writing a love letter.
That's princess treatment.
Picking her up from the airport.
Bare minimum.
Last one. Breakfast in bed.
Bare minimum.
Cute. I'm glad I make you laugh, Remy.
What kind of camera is that?
100%.
Oh, cool. That's digital.
Yeah.
First bite.
First bite is bare minimum.
First bite is bare
Last bite is princess treatment.
Last bite.
I'll give you the last bite of my food.
Like,
that was great.
Thank you so
That was
much.
a lot of fun. That was very fun.